Hi everyone, good morning and welcome to Rented Space, and thank you for joining me today. Anyway, today I am planting up some herbs that I bought. My two girls have been accepted to get moving to their own rental, and so I thought I'd buy them some herbs so that they can start their herb garden. Now, often I do grow my own seeds, but realistically, by the time they grow and they move, it'll be too late. So I went to Bunnings and I bought some. Plus, when I'm only doing one or two of each, I don't need to do a lot of seeds. So I thought this is the best way. So I took them with me and I bought a few different things. I have some sweet basil, some chives. I bought some lavender. Some tarragon and some lavender. I bought them a sage. I also bought myself a sage. I bought some lemon thyme as per my oldest daughter's request. Some mint as per my oldest daughter upsetting my youngest daughter. And they also wanted some little cherry tomatoes, so I bought them a tray of those as well. Now, while I was there, I did also buy myself a calendula. It's been quite hot, so I haven't had a chance to pot them up yet. I have, as you can see, I don't know if you can really see, they're dripping. I've had them soaking in water, so they still had plenty of water. Anyway, so my first thing is first, my sage and my calendula are going to go back down into the pot to soak because I'm not potting them up. Now, I'm just trying to work out which to put in what. The tomatoes I'm not going to pot up yet, not into big proper pots. I want to put them into like a smaller pot for now and then give them a bigger pot later. Or I might put them into one pot and then we can segregate them later. I think if I put the lavender into you, the chives will be okay in one of these. The mint and the sage need to go into bigger pots because we all know that they like to take off. So I might put them in there. I might leave the basil in you, and I just need something for the thyme. I thought I had more buckets and more soil, but I don't. So I think the thyme might just have to stay out for now, along with the tomatoes. So they can sit there like that. But I do have a pot for my sage, so I might just pop my sage up, but we'll see. Okay. So these, I'm only giving them these pots because when they get there, they're planning on putting them into proper gardens. I just want to get them out of the tiny pots because they're not going to survive in them for very long. So I want them to be in a bit of a bigger pot so they have the room they need. Now we are at the end of December, so we're almost at Christmas. So realistically, they're only 2 weeks away from moving in. So I thought just as long as their plants have big enough pots that they'll survive. Now I have pre-watered like I always do, so the pots are watered. Okay, so quick water again. One down. Now, as many of you or anyone who's been with me for a while, you will know that my oldest two had moved out of home 18 months, 2 years ago, depending on they had been out of home for 18 months, 2 years. And then they came back during the year. So my daughter, who was in Melbourne for uni, come home again in April, and she probably would have liked to stay down there. She quite liked Melbourne, but very expensive. So she come home to save money for 12 months or so that she would be able to then find another place on her own again. But it's really expensive. So so the two girls, so Michaela is 21 and Mia is, and I'm filthy now, Michaela is 21 and Mia is 18, so it's really good for them to be able to have their own space. As a mama, am I going to miss them? Of course I am, but they also need to have their opportunity to live out of home. Okay, so yeah, so that'll be nice for them anyway, and they'll be moving in together, so they have each other. Now, like I said, I know I could separate these basil, but at the moment I'm more just potting them up so they have more room, so that when they do move out, they can put them into the garden beds that they've got at the house that they're going to be renting. I just want to ensure that they have enough room between now and then, because I don't know about any of you, but my idea of going into town near Christmas is non-existent. I do not want to be doing that. Now, what I just realised, I do also have mulch here. Just to go around them a little bit. Bit of straw. It's not really straw, is it? It should be cane mulch, but just to go around to give them a little bit more protection from the sun so they can keep their water. Some around the tarragon. Now, something else that I've been doing for them as well is I have been propagating herbs, like my rosemary and things, which I have been doing to updo my garden, my herb garden. But I've also been doing it for them. So there's lots of little rosemary out there, which is why there's none that I've bought, because I had heaps of that propagated ready for them. And then I've also been cutting and drying a lot of rosemary, and I also I dehydrated some rosemary, some chives, some spring onions, some mint as well, so that they also have stuff ready to go for the kitchen. Now, this is the Munstead lavender. Now, I just kind of took the girls with me and let them pick out what they wanted, because it's going to be their herb garden. They need to be happy with what they're getting. So the only thing my youngest wasn't happy about is the mint, because she can't stand mint. But my older daughter is like me and loves it. So there we go. There's that. I actually bought all of this stuff last Sunday and planned to do it then. But as I'm sure everyone is aware, the Australia had some devastating occurrence, and I didn't really feel like I had the mood after that. As I'm sure, it was very tragic, and Oh, this one's a bit root bound, isn't it? I don't know if you can see real well. Just going to tease those roots. You should smell this mint though, it does smell amazing. Now I've put the mint in a bigger pot because they will probably, I've told them to leave this in the bigger pot because anyone who's ever grown mint knows, I hope you can see my face, anyone who's ever grown mint knows that it does take off like a weed, so I don't want it put in the garden. There we go. Okay. And last but not least for now anyway, is the sage. And same thing with the sage, I've put it in a bigger pot because it needs to stay in there for a little bit due to the fact that sage will also be part of the, as part of the mint family. Okay. It's funny, isn't it? It's not a job that takes much time, but trying to, when you work full time and then trying to avoid the heat of the day and everything else, it's getting to it, isn't it? Just these little jobs that don't take much time that you seem to keep putting off. Alrighty. I don't know if any of you were noticing that, I'm just putting all the water that's dripping out of the pots and putting them, I've got a bucket underneath to catch all that water and any of the dirt. And that way I'm not losing any of that precious water. All right. So we have the basil, the chives, which are looking a little bit sad, but they'll look all right in a bit. The sage, my tarragon, the lavender, and the mint. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 herbs there. And like I said, they also still have the lemon thyme and their little cherry tomatoes, which I will work out a place for those. And it's a nice little start to their garden. Lots of herbs, some tomatoes for fresh eating in the garden. I think this will keep them a bit happy. Anyway, so I sort of wanted to show you too that obviously I rent, but even for starting out, I think I paid between $3, so I think the charges were $2.50, but say between $3 and maybe $4.50 for the most expensive. So what, I honestly think it was probably $4. So we'll say $3, $6. and 8, that's 14. Look, I'm going to say maybe all of this cost me like $40. The soil I had just, just soil like from my compost or from other pots that I've enriched. Some secondhand pots that I had just laying around. Most of these I was gifted for free. But realistically, even if you were to include a bag of soil, say, of potting mix, say, I'm going to say $20 for potting mix, maybe $40 for the plants. So for $60, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 herbs. There's what, 2, 4, 6 tomatoes in there. So I think we did pretty well. And like I said, actually, when I think about it, the herbs also included my calendula. The $40 included my calendula and my sage. So $60, we've started a herb garden that can be in pots, on a balcony, on a little patio. So it doesn't matter if you're renting or if you're on a tight budget. Do I normally grow everything from seed? I do my best. I don't grow everything, don't get me wrong, but I do try my best to grow as much as I can from seed to save money. But even when you're starting out, you can do something like this nice and quick. And yeah, they don't look too bad, do they? Hi everyone, it's Lindsay again from Rented Space, and I just wanted to finish my video. So I have come in, it got really windy outside, and I thought you're not going to hear me, so I moved indoors. So first of all, thank you for joining me on my video today. Now this is a new thing for me, and it is actually instigated by the amazing Rachel from Bush Edge Homesteading. If you haven't headed over and seen her channel as of yet, please head over. She has an amazing channel. Her and her family do so much on their small acreage in Victoria, in the ranges they are. So they're right up very slopey block that they have. They have their chickens, they have their ducks, they have their fruit orchard, they have berries, they have a very productive vegetable garden, greenhouse. They cut their wood from their property when trees fall. They do have sheep also, so they do use their sheep obviously for freezer camp, and they also have some other videos showing you what they do. Now Rachel and her family are amazing at showing you their when they started the channel, it was 15 years. They've now been 17 years on their land, and they've learnt so much along the way, and they're so great at showing you. So please head over, and thank you, Rachel, for allowing us to use your amazing banner to help support other Australian YouTube channels. So again, Bush Edge Homesteading. Now my picks this week. Now I won't normally do this many. I'm just doing it because it's the first time, and I thought I've seen a few new ones as well as having some old ones. So Amanda from Urban Homestead Queensland, a big thank you for doing a shout out, but I was actually going to shout you out anyway because I found you not long before Christmas. I think I was actually preparing for my daughter's 18th birthday when I first started watching your videos, and it actually, I probably needed it a lot at that time, you know, before Christmas and the emotions of having my baby turning 18. I needed something that was both uplifting and easy to watch, but that was educational at the same time. So thank you, Amanda. Now Amanda is Urban Homestead Queensland. They live obviously in Queensland, and they have a garden. They also have animals and livestock, and Amanda also goes and does bulk shopping. So from outlets like the Steggles or Ingham outlets, those kind of things, the Primo outlets, and then brings it back home and shows you how to use it. Obviously she also goes Costco, things like that, but head over, have a look, and honestly, Amanda pulls a meal from just about anything. She opens up the freezer or the fridge and looks at things that need to be used and puts that into a meal for her family for the week. Now, Amanda also is gluten-free herself, not the whole family, gluten-free, but there are a lot of food allergies and things that she has to work around, so it's really good to get in there and see all those different things. Now, another one that I want to support this week is Kayleen from Urban Homestead Artist. Now, I've been watching Kayleen's videos for a few years now. I would say since 2020 I've been watching, I think it's 2020. I've been watching her for a while now anyway. Maybe it was 2021, but Kayleen, I've been watching her videos for a while now. And Kayleen is in Victoria. Her and her husband, the last 12 months, it's probably more a Kayleen thing, the garden, but she does coax her husband out to help with redoing her garden beds this year. Well, she has in 2025. It's now 2026. But please head over, enjoy watching her beautiful chickens roam around the garden, and just see, she has this amazing new thing where she's doing an power hour, and she gets out and shows you everything she gets done in an hour. And it's her way of sort of getting out in the garden, even on days where she's maybe not as motivated as normal. She will also bring you into her kitchen and show you what she prepares with some of the meals, with the foods that she has picked from her garden. A new little video that, again, I've probably only found this channel maybe 3-4 months ago, and that is Sunflower and Thyme. Still a really new small channel, and I just think maybe if we get in there and give her a bit of a boost, it will help her boost her confidence and get some more videos out. She has been on a bit of a she stopped making videos for a little bit. Life got a bit busy, but I want to encourage her to keep going because her content's very good and it's very pure and it's lovely to see. She's very calm, and just her voice really is so nice and relaxing. It's probably one of the videos I like to watch just sort of late at night, just before I'm turning off my phone, getting ready to go to bed. Anyway, head on over to Sunflower and Thyme. Again, urban family of 5, and they're just trying to be a more sustainable and self-sufficient, I guess, not as in, you know, cutting others off, but more self-sufficient in the fact of growing food from scratch and learning about where food comes from. So please head over and like them. Now, Diane and Samson, they're also from Victoria. They were on one rented property and they've been around for a long time. But again, very good YouTubers, have been around for a while, but still quite small in size considering how long they've been doing this. Now, Diane and Samson are from Victoria. They did renovate, like I said, they did have land that they were renting. They bought a bus, they renovated it, they've travelled around, since had a beautiful little baby, and they're now living in their renovated bus off grid on another rental property. Head on over. They've only just landed there maybe 2-3 months ago, but head on over. They've now got chickens and ducks there, and they're slowly building everything up. They've had mulch and compost arrived not long ago, and go check out their newest video. Okay, thank you. My last 2 channels are a bit of a tandem, so they are Max and Oki and Kendall and Glenn. Now, these are both Australian YouTube travel content creators, have been at this for years. Recently, 2 years ago, Max and Oki, so Max and his beautiful dog Oki, who's since passed, tell you what, cried my eyes out, absolutely cried my eyes out. But Max and Oki bought a property in subtropical New South Wales earlier, well, 2 years ago, sorry. And then roughly this time last year, Kendall and Glenn, who Max and Oki met on their travels around Australia, actually have since moved on as well first of all in their truck, and now they're in the process of building their own tiny home. They've just put in kitchen. So Max has just finished renovating the kitchen of his cabin, and Kendall and Glenn have just put their kitchen into their tiny home. Head on over, check these guys out. Great Australian content as well. Now, they are both quite large channels, but I do still think, even though they're a larger channel, I want to show that they're new to the homesteading game. So head on over and enjoy their beautiful videos. They often feature in each other's videos. Obviously, they're living on the same 5-acre block, but anyway. So thank you everyone for joining on our videos, and thank you for sharing and the incredible love that's coming from all of these shares. So last week, well, before Christmas, I was between 96, well, I'd been at 84, I think, for months. and I just went up to 96 or so. And since Amanda's little response on her channel, I've gone up to 158. That's a huge increase for me, and honestly I've gone up more than in a week and a half, 2 weeks, than what I have gone up in 3 years of filming. So I really very much appreciate the support that I got from Amanda, but I really want to send it out to everyone else too. Get behind everyone. Australian YouTubers are amazing. And I'm not saying the American ones aren't great too, but we've got some great Aussie YouTube channels here, and we need to support them, because honestly, we're the ones growing in this climate, and we need to be able to learn from each other. Anyway, thanks everyone. Have a great day. Happy gardening. Love you all. Bye.